Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be sorting, organising and creating my autumnal TBR. This is long overdue. I am actually embarrassed to show you what my TBR cart has came to. I'm going to roll it over here in a minute, and I've been putting this off. This is the thing, I had this scheduled in my diary to do this video about 3 weeks ago, and I just never wanted to because I didn't want to deal with that problem. But I'm going to do it today. I'm going to make it enjoyable, I'm going to make it cozy, and we're going to do it together. I do think, because I have so many books all over the place around my room, like I've got my bookish fireplace, I've got these shelves, like this stack, what is that? And then I've got ones already on my TBR cart from whenever I last sorted that out. I do think possibly the best way for me to film this will be doing time lapse of grabbing all the books from around my room, and then we curate it together on the TBR cart, and then I just talk to you about some of my options, just because I don't think the audio or the visuals are going to be great with me like physically, but like I have books stacked at my fireplace, so they're gonna all have to be taken down when I'm pulling ones out and stuff. So I just think that is gonna be the most sensible way to format this video, which I know will then be a lot of time lapsing, but stick around because at the end I'm going to talk you through my TBR cart, a TBR cart tour if you will, which I think will be quite fun. That's the part I'm looking forward to, is just talking through some of the books that I'm excited to read this season. But it's just the lead up that I don't want to do. But that does also mean if I'm filming in a time-lapse format, I can have music on, I can watch shows, so it can be cozy for me, and so I am looking forward to that. I also am a bit conscious that like I don't want to make it really fantasy heavy, but I've said this in videos before, I just feel like I always want to cozy up with a fantasy book at this time of year. Got my PJs on, I'm not gonna get changed, I'm sorry if you think that's lazy, but I just want to be cozy, comfy. I'm gonna get my candles on and let's just get started. I'm gonna wheel my TBR cart over here and we're gonna look at it. I don't even want to deal with it. Right, I'm gonna go and grab it, and hopefully you'll be able to see it if I kind of stand it here. This is not the one. I actually am going to show you. So on the top I have some PR, I have pens. I feel like this is just where I've been keeping like all my stationery and stuff. This is a random assortment, and you know what's actually possibly the worst part is that I never ever finished Jane Eyre. Like I got so far into it and never finished it. I have this shelf which I don't even know what that is. Like obviously we've got some fantasy, but like why is it here and not on my fantasy shelves? And then at the bottom I have classics, which to be honest I quite like the bottom being classics, but I just do feel like I'm going to have so many books that I want to read in autumn that I'm not going to have the space to keep this as classics. However, also don't have the space on my shelves, so I do not know where they're going to go, but that is to be figured out. But yeah, this is what we're dealing with. That is awful, I'm embarrassed. As I say, I'm just going to time-lapse me grabbing some books and then popping them in here, resorting them on here, and then we will have a chat about why I've picked some of these books, why I'm excited to read them, possibly what they're about if I know. As we know on here, I like to go into books blind, so I'll be going off the cover and vibes and if I ever have heard anything about them. But yeah, so that is the plan. Let's get straight into this. the new and updated cart, but I actually just want to sit on the floor, and so I'm going to do that. I did make a coffee and we're just going to have a talk through why I've chosen some of these, maybe if it's somewhat organised. We're just going to have a little chat. You're so comfy on the floor. Like, I sit and read on the floor a lot, and for my vlogs I move the camera and go sit on the bed because I think that's weird, but I do spend a lot of time sat on the floor. But can you see this top shelf? But if I move you back a little bit, okay, I feel like there you can see what's going on. Perfect. So let's talk. I think this is kind of my most anticipated books for this season, the ones that I really want to get to this autumn, the ones that kind of take top spot. I also just popped this cute little cinnamon bun jelly cut that I got. I just think that's cute. You cannot tell me that that is not cute. So what I have is these I've hauled quite recently. This is Arcana Academy and Metal Slinger. Super excited to read both of those, so they are on the top shelf. Then I have the Crimson Moth. This book I've been hearing about for years. I never read it, but it's witches. There is a huge witchy theme across this, and we can blame Man in Black Beak for that. She has just made me obsessed with witches. I just want to read anything witches. I love it. So there are a few witchy books. And then I have Law of the Wilds, because this cover is just so beautiful, and I definitely want to get to that this time of year. Then I have one that I only saw one girl on TikTok talk about, which is the Starlight Air, but it actually sounds really good. I don't really remember what it was about, but when I was looking into it, when I bought it, it sounded very good. I just thought I love fantasy in the autumnal month, so I'm excited for this one. The cover, also gorgeous again. Love. I needed this coffee. Oh. I put in Phantasma. I've still got the label on this. This one is about, I think it's a haunted house and they do games. I don't really know, but it looks spooky autumnal vibes. So I feel like a lot of these are like, if I don't get to them this season, I'm not going to read them until next year. So this is definitely one of those. I have Legendborn, because this one has been on my TBR for a while, and I just feel like, is it in a school? I feel like anything school, university wise, feels autumnal, even though I've read a few dark academias now and I just don't think they're my thing. Like, I keep trying to read them and I just don't get on with them. Like, I read Ninth House and I read The Secret History. Wasn't a fan of either of those, but I feel like this could possibly be more up my street. Then we have a couple witchy books. We have The Coven, which I believe is Trials, which I only found out about recently. Is it Trials? Raised to be a Weapon. I feel like it is. Or it's like Training. Training or Trials. Either one. They're my buzzwords. Love. And then I have Wayward, which is about witches, but it's like across 3 generations of witches. And it says 3 women, 5 centuries, 1 spellbinding story. So I feel like this one is a bit more serious, you could say. Then I have People Watching. This one obviously had to go on my autumnal TBR. I also have one coming, or I don't remember what it was called. I have it's the one that's all over online. I'll find it and put it here. And I also have Cackle coming, so they will get added onto here because I'm super excited to read those. And then the last one on this side of the top shelf is House of Salt and Sorrow. Same concept as this one. I just feel like if I don't get to it now, I'm not going to. I did start this before and I don't know why I never finished it, but I didn't. But I remember seeing somebody read this and their reaction was wild, so it made me want to read it. And yeah, so don't know much about this one, but it looks autumnal. This one, same kind of thing. I'm still excited to read them all, but I've just moved them down a shelf because I feel like these I could get away with not reading them this season, but I want to. First up over here I have Quicksilver. This is really shallow with me, but since I've seen that gorgeous new edition of it, I don't want to read it. But I might tell myself if I read it then I can buy the nice edition and like sell this one on Vinted. I have On Wings of Blood, Unmarked Witch, The Witch Collector and The Grey Prophecy. These are all indie published fantasy books. So On Wings of Blood is a vampire training academy. The Unmarked Witch is, I don't know, she's unmarked. Witch is unmarked and she's unmarked. The Witch Collector, this one said it had a really fun and like cozy, cute found family trope, so that's why I picked up that one, I remember. And then this is a witch romance. I believe the main characters in it are like different types of witches, and I just thought that was interesting. But yeah, all of those are like indie published. Then I have The Love of My Afterlife. I saw this one come up on TikTok for like books to read in autumn, and so I don't know why this one is to read in autumn. I know that she like goes to heaven and then has to find her husband or like boyfriend, I don't know, but I've got it on here. Then I have Left of Forever. This one just looks cute, cozy, autumnal. It's a second chance romance. I have The Tempest of Tea. This sounds so good. She runs a little tea room in the day, and then by night it's like this vampire gang thing. I don't even know. Sounds so good though. I have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. Once again, just another cute, cozy fantasy. I feel like I've been wanting to read some cozy fantasies recently. There's another one on here that I've just remembered. So yeah, I'm excited to read this one. I have Just Kids by Patti Smith. I feel like I just want to read this. I don't know. I have Truly Devious, another one same as Legendborn, set in a school. I don't really know what it's about, but I feel like any kind of academia books are good for this time of year. I have Play Along by Liz Tomford, just a sports romance. I love this series. I just feel like if I want a romance book that I know I'm going to enjoy, this will be a good one. And then I have one that I read last year and I just loved, and I thought actually I might want to reread that. You Again. This is the most autumnal book I have in my collection, and I loved this book. I think I gave it 4 stars last year, so I might want to sit and reread this. So I put this on there as well. Then the bottom shelf I did just leave as classics. It didn't need to be touched. Everything fit in here that I wanted to, so I've just left those. So onto the other side. Similar thing with these at the top is like, if I don't read them in this season, I'm not really going to read them, bar Passion Project. This was just on here because I'm really excited to get to this. It's a romance book set in New York, and they like do loads of different activities, so that sounds really good. Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I need to read this. Every year I say I'm going to read it. I think I've had it like 3 years now and I've never read it, but I know that I'm going to like it. I have, this is the other cozy fantasy I was talking about, The House in the Cerulean Sea. I feel like I haven't heard any bad reviews about this, so I want to give that one a go. I have X-Hex, classic. And then I have a couple BK Borison, which is In the Weeds and Mixed Signals, which are kind of her autumnally ones within the little series. And then for this shelf, this one's a bit more random. I have Throne of the Fallen, just because I read the Kingdom of the Wicked series in autumn, so it reminds me of it, and then this one is like the next one along. I don't know, that's how my brain works. I associate when I've read parts of a series with times of year. So yeah, this one. Then I have these two just because I saw them in my fireplace and I was like, oh, I forgot I had those. They're just the like cutest little romances. They're called the Landmark Mountain series. I think they run like a ski lodge or something, or like a hotel. They look so cute, and I just thought maybe if I want a romance I'll go with these. I have the new Maisie Eddings, which is called Well Actually, and I believe this is second chance romance. Just another cute cozy romance in case I want one. I have Before We Were Strangers. This is similar to The Love of My Afterlife. I just saw it on a Books I Should Read in Autumn video. I have Corrupt by Penelope Douglas, and I just feel like if I do not read this at this time of year, when am I going to read it? I don't know. I don't even remember what this is about because I've had it on my TBR for so long and I just don't read it. But I feel like I'm just going to bite the bullet this year. And then lastly, on my autumnal TBR cart is You Deserve Each Other, which would be a reread, but this is one of my favourite romance books. It's about this couple and they're about to get married, but they fall out. They decide they don't want to. and so they start playing loads of pranks on each other and find their way back to each other, and it's just the cutest, most wholesome book. So yeah, that is my new and organised TBR cart. Where's my little guy? Let's get him up there. I'm so obsessed with this. This makes me feel so much better, and it's making my room full of books feel so much less overwhelming. So yeah, I'm very, very glad that I did this. That brings us to the end of this video. I'm so glad this is organised. Let me know any of your maybe favourite books that you've read in autumn, or any that you think I should add to my TBR cart. Any books that just feel so autumnal and cosy. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will speak to you very, very soon.